skydives out of a plane to give the Statue of Liberty high fives, doing drive-bys and miss you with 5 tries.
Yo, he was also one of the first rappers to like low-key make fun of himself. Like, I'll do a drive-by and I'll miss you with 5 tries. Like, he's the only dude that could really clown himself, right? Because he's not making himself sound cool by saying that he missed shooting you 5 times. He's like low-key clowning himself, but he's still swagged out in the process of saying that shit. He's still confident in saying it. He's still dope as fuck when he says it. It's like humor mixed with like insane confidence, insane wit. Like, come on, man. Like, put some fucking respect on this man's fucking name, man. All right, Rap City 5 Eminem Freestyles is the title. Blah. Okay, I'm excited. Eminem, favorite rapper of mine. You already know. Check it out. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Check out my music. I'm fairly well known for my music, right? Just recently started doing reactions. Excited about this. Let's get to it, all right? Let's get to it.
Hey, yo. In my mind, I'm a fighter. My heart's a lighter. My soul is the fluid. My flow sparks it right up. An arthritis. Arthur with arthritis. Carpal tunnel. Marshall with startitis. I'm sick.
I forgot what track that verse is on, but fire. As you can see, what he's doing here is he used that as a freestyle, right? Before he probably officially dropped the song. A lot of rappers do that. I've done that. We all do that for the most part, right? But back in the day, they could get away with that way more than they can now because now we have YouTube, right? So now you constantly have to come out with new material. Like you know, if he were to spit a freestyle right now and he were to use one of his verses that he dropped on one of his recent albums, people are going to say, what the fuck? You just recycled that verse, right? But back then, there was no YouTube. You could get away with a lot of that. Eminem did that a lot in his career, and I noticed that, as he rightfully should, right? I mean, shit, he dropped so many verses and freestyles in his life that if he didn't recycle a couple for some radio stations, like whenever he went on Sway or K-Slay in the morning, then, you know, he would have to be constantly coming with new shit, which is what he already did, but he would have to come with like double that amount, right? But again, now, you know, 2020, you gotta bring fresh material all the time. So let's bring this back by a couple seconds.
Marshall with startitis. I'm sick. Quick with it for every lyric.
All right, it seems like it's skipped right there, but that's the video itself.
Rick spit it. There are 6 critics who wait for me to slip with it. So quick, this dynamite stick buried a wick. It's gonna explode any minute. Some lunatic lit it, and it's not Nelly.
Okay. Some lunatic lit it, and it's not Nelly. So Nelly had the crew back in the day called Saint Lunatics, right, with Murphy Lee and a couple other dudes. So that was a good play on words right there. Obviously, I mean, come on.
Some lunatic lit it, and it's not Nelly. Do not tell me to stop yelling. When I stop selling, I quit. So stop swelling. I'm not felling. You are not ready, cause I got jelly like Beyonce's pot belly. This is destiny.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I remember when that verse came out on the album, he muted out that part, right? It just went mute right there, and I always wondered who he was talking about. And I remember seeing this freestyle years later and going, oh, he was talking about Beyonce. And then, after Jay-Z hooked up with Beyonce, you know, obviously M has a lot of respect for Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a lot of respect for Eminem. You know, Jay-Z's married to Beyonce, so he probably made that call like, hey, bro, could you take that shit off your album? So it was probably too late at that time. He already recorded it, so they went in there and muted it, right? But he was saying Beyonce has a pot belly, which is hilarious, but I don't think she's ever had a pot belly. Beyonce's Beyonce, right? So let's bring it back.
Not ready, cause I got
pot belly or pop belly? I think it's pot belly, right? P-O-T. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Random. I like to know random shit.
Like Beyonce's pot belly, this is destiny. Yes, money, I'm off running, so get off of me. I'm not slowing or softening. No apologies.
Yo. Oh, this one. This one. I had this recorded on VHS back in the day when I was like in middle school. I had this shit recorded on VHS. And I would listen to this freestyle. I know, yeah, this shit right here, I think this was like in 2000 right here. The fact that he was able to rap this dope 20 years ago. Oh, let's play it. It's fucking.
Yeah. High on. Would you take trick? What am I on? 2 tubes of airplane glue and a can of Krylon. Eating the crayon. Setting fire to rayon. Flaming the nylons of 2 white lesbians screaming die blonde. Strike me.
Like the way crayon, like instead of a crayon, a crayon. Like the way he bends his words, man. Eminem is really one of the pioneers of that bending words type of shit that we do now in hip hop, right? Yeah, people before him did it for sure, but nobody did it like M. Nobody has done it like M. He created his own fucking sound when it comes to that. Like the way he could just bend words, right? Y'all remember the whole orange 4-inch door hinge thing that he was talking about with Anderson Cooper in that one interview. So Eminem is known for this. He's known for this shit.
Fire the rayons, flaming the nylons of two white lesbians screaming die blondes. Strike matches on white patches of dry lawns, and I run and jump right in front of the fire hydrants. 5 blunts and you expect me to die once with 9 lives, effing chickens in front of my blind wives. Suicidal, my friends tell me to try knives. You wanna mess with a mother effer that skydives out of a plane to give the Statue of Liberty high five?
Like, I hate to pause it, but just the way he's gliding. And my favorite part of this whole verse is when he's like, you want to mess with a motherfucker that skydives out of the plane to give you the, Statue of Liberty high fives, like the high knot. The way he glided, it just sounds like on that part, like when I hear rhymes like this, I just feel like I see it in my head. I see it for what it is. If just that part was like, he literally glided that part. It just was so smooth, and it just seems like he was just floating and like levitating over the beat on that part. I'm gonna bring that shit back by like 10 seconds because he was fucking cooking. Cook Central.
Die once with 9 lives, effing chickens in front of my blind wives. Suicidal, my friends tell me to try knives. You wanna mess with a mother effer that skydives out of a plane to give the Statue of Liberty high fives? Doing drive-bys and miss you with 5 tries? It's Slim Shady, your BET, and Big Tigger, all y'all see me flee, yo.
And he was also one of the first rappers to like low-key make fun of himself. Like, I'll do a drive-by and I'll miss you with 5 tries. Like, he's the only dude that could really clown himself, right? Because he's not making himself sound cool by saying that he missed shooting you 5 times. He's like low-key clowning himself, but he's still swagged out in the process of saying that shit. He's still confident in saying it. He's still dope as fuck when he says it. It's like humor mixed with like insane confidence, insane wit. Like, come on, man. Like, put some fucking respect on this man's fucking name, man. That shit bugs me so much when people don't have this dude in their top, in their top 3. All right, I'm gonna say that, right? It's probably gonna offend a lot of people. I hope it doesn't, but I'm gonna keep it real. If he's not at least in your top 3, you don't have to like his music. You don't have to like none of that. But rapping ability, putting words together, the geniusness behind it, what he's done for the game, how he's advanced lyricism, how there's a whole generation now that sound like Eminem, right? Come on, man. How could he not be top 3? Like, how? How the fuck is it debatable? I don't know. I don't know, but we live in a crazy-ass world, my friend.
It's Slim Shady, your BET, and Big Tigger, all y'all see me flee, yo.
All right, going back to that part, it's Slim Shady, BET, and Big Tigger, all y'all see me flee. You could tell that last part was actually a freestyle off the top of his head. Everything else is premeditated. I'm sure most of you know this is a written verse, right? But you could tell because he's on BET with Big Tigger, who was the host of Rap City. That was the host, right? Big Tigger, another dope freestyler. He freestyled that last part. That's what's great about him. He could mix in, like wherever he's at, he could become accustomed to his environment and kind of cater some of his pre-written, premeditated verses to his environment to give off that mystique of like, yo, is this shit written or was this shit freestyle? Because the first shit sounded written, it was so good, but then he just said that he's on BET with Big Tigger, so maybe it is freestyle. That's all, you see what I'm saying? It's all just the geniusness behind it all. There's so much that goes into it, man. There's so much that goes into like the representation of your, of what he's doing, basically. Hopefully that all makes sense. All right.
Liberty high fives, doing drive-bys and miss you with 5 tries. It's Slim Shady, your BET, and Big Tigger, all y'all see me flee, yo. Yo, you ain't never seen momentum switch like this since you witnessed 50 Cent coming, but you know who out of business. This is it. This is about as intense as it gets. If you're looking for suspense, this is what it gets. Whoa, wait a minute, didn't mean to curse, but yo, I'ma check it out with one verse.
Okay, you could tell part of that was written at the beginning. Maybe not. Maybe this is all freestyle. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But when he messed up, when he cussed on accident, he forgot he was on TV. So you could tell he had to kind of like reverse it. He's like, oh shit, I cussed. So in his head, he went in there and kind of reflipped it and kind of salvaged it. That's how I interpret it. Again, I could be wrong, but I interpret it like that. From somebody who's been doing this shit for a while, I interpret it like that. But who knows? Let me bring it back.
Whoa, wait a minute. Not as intense as it gets. If you're looking for suspense, this is what it gets. Whoa, wait a minute. Didn't mean to curse, but yo, I'ma check it out with one verse. I'ma kick it and I'ma say off the top and I get wicked. I trickety figgity flips it. I'm around. I meant to say just effing around, but y'all can't step to my sound. Cause I'm putting.
Yeah, it seems like that whole verse was actually off the top, maybe off the top of his head. It seemed like it. You know, dope verse, especially for being off the top, and especially for being rapped fucking 17 years ago. This probably came out 2003, 2004. This is probably, you know, still ahead of its time. Still ahead of its time. Crazy.
My sound, cause I'm putting. Whoa, Nelly, tell Angelina Jolie I'm ready with petroleum jelly to smear it all over me belly. And tell her she can hit me on me more with me selly and meat in the salami section of the grocery deli.
I feel like that bar went over people's head. Meat in the salami section at the grocery deli. Like meat and salami, right? So we'll meet there. Like the wordplay already on that part's crazy. This is when he was in his accent bag, right? When he was doing a lot of accents. This is when he came out with, I think, Relapse, and he was just doing a shit ton of accents. And the reason why he was doing all those accents is because it allowed him to bend his words, right? And to like rhyme with words that you usually cannot rhyme with. Going back to what I was saying earlier about him, how he does that a lot, right? He just did this on the whole album though, on the whole Relapse album.
Whoa, Nelly, tell Angelina Jolie I'm ready with petroleum jelly to smear it all over me belly. And tell her she can hit me on me more with me selly and meat in the salami section of the grocery deli. And maybe we can find us an appropriate telly, a Motel 6 or 8, I think they both could be helly. Then I quit it, then I told her email me and don't call me, I'll call you, can you feel me? You smell me? Animal instinct, cannibalistic. I just ran out of lipstick, none of 'em are twisted. 6 sadistic, son of a 666. Broke his crucifix, made out of sticks, then fixed it. Now play it backwards, muscle relaxers mixed with.
Like, come on, man. The fact that he rhymes sound effects. Like he rhymed that. Like, come on, man. Put the man in your top 3 already. Come on. Stop with all this bullshit. All these arguments about the culture. Come on. Stop.
This son of a 666 broke his crucifix, made out of sticks, then fixed it. Now play it backwards, muscle relaxers mixed with liquid. The lot of this diluted but quick fix. You're delusional, illusions look realistic.
Okay.
I need Christopher Reeves to come and lay his verse. I think he can spit it better on Medicine Ball. First off, I did not even realize the guy died, so I guess them Christopher Reeves jokes ain't gonna fly.
Fucking asshole, man. I love M. You know, one of the only things that really bugged me about M is the fact that he would always diss Christopher Reeves, and I never understood it. For anybody who does not know who Christopher Reeves is, let's just put it this way. He's been dissed by Eminem like 15, 20 times, right? Christopher Reeves was a paraplegic. He was a famous star back in the day. I think he was the original Superman, right? The original Superman back in like the 70s, maybe 80s, around there. And he fell off a horse one day, broke his back, and became paralyzed, right, from the waist down. But Eminem would always clown him for that, and I never understood it. I get it; it's part of Eminem's thing, his shtick, right? Eminem's like, you know, he says whatever, he doesn't give a fuck, yada yada. But I think personally, my opinion, you know, obviously I love M, favorite rapper of all time, right? He took it too far, in my opinion. I think he just kept poking at that way too long, and I didn't like that about him. You know what I mean? But it's M, so.
Even realized the guy died, so I guess them Christopher Reeves jokes ain't gonna fly.
He didn't realize he died, so they're not gonna fly. Those jokes won't fly, as in, because he used to fly in the movie Superman, right? And now he's saying he can't, you know, the jokes are not gonna fly because he didn't realize he was dead. Another play on words. It was evil, but it was fucking hilarious and dope.
Even realized the guy died, so I guess them Christopher Reeves jokes ain't gonna fly. Oh, I'm on the road, don't get me started. And then got pissed at me, tried to push me and with such accuracy, he aims and he shoots the target. Cupid's arrow and Porsche. Now look, sweetheart, you stuck. Kissing bandit on a mission to leave. Mr. Generous, disenchanted by men, no, just listen, damn it. Mr. Rossi, I need no posse, I single-handed. Leave was still your heart with a kiss. What should I plant it? Mwah, baby, it's moi. And my repertoire's running around in pink panties, a leopard bra and negligee. You'll say tomato, I say tomato. I'm Tommy Mottola, Mariah, don't stop me, I'm on the roll. Oh.
Said, I'm Tommy Mottola, Mariah, don't stop me, I'm on a roll. Tommy Mottola, Tommy Mottola is like a real big record label. I wouldn't even say he's not an executive. I think he's like a record label owner. He like owns like half of the whole music industry. Very important figure. And I think he was even married to Mariah Carey at a point in time. I think so. If not, he was definitely signed to her. I think she was managed by Tommy Mottola. But yeah, I got to look that up to fully know. But he was taking a shot at Mariah, right?
I'm keeping it raw, illegal like Malik and Jamal. Cause I don't believe in the law, like I'm Steven Seagal. Flipping off the police while I'm leaping the wall. Take a bunch of Tylenol and fall asleep in the mall. I got your little son, you'll be receiving a call. You're lucky this little punk is still breathing at all. F the world, this how I get even at y'all. Pop it, get rolled up and leaving a ball. I hit you in your mouth and sink your teeth in your jaw.
I'm gonna bring you back by 10 seconds, but I remember being so like mind blown at this verse, right? So I had heard this verse. He rapped this verse before somewhere else as well, on other like radio stations and shows, and I was so impressed by how flawless his delivery is on this take right here, right? That I thought it was pre-recorded. This is when I was younger. I was just so blown away. I was comparing it to the other freestyle that he did, and I was like, is it the same one? And I was like, no, he's really rapping this shit live. Like I remember I was comparing them side by side, right? That, I was studying the game. I was, studying people like M and all these rappers. And then I realized he was really rapping this live and just how flawless it is, right? So effortless, like crazy. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring this shit back.
I'm keeping it raw, illegal like Malik and Jamal. Cause I don't believe in the law, like I'm Steven Seagal. Flipping off the police while I'm leaping the wall. Take a bunch of Tylenol and fall asleep in the mall. I got your little son, you'll be receiving a call. You're lucky this little punk is still breathing at all. F the world, this how I get even at y'all. Pop it, get rolled up and leaving a ball. I hit you in your mouth and sink your teeth in your jaw. You won't be able to eat shit, not even a mall. The sleepless assault is giving you a reason to stall. I'm cocking this deuce and I'm squeezing it off. With the first burp and a fart sniffle, a sneeze and a cough. Get your arms chewed off like you was teasing a dog. I'm cold enough and hot enough to freeze and unthaw. I kick my girl out in 10 degrees in a bra. Slim Shady.
Hold on, let me bring just one part he said that really was like shit.
Get your arm chewed off like you was teasing a dog.
Get your arm chewed off like you was teasing a dog.
I'm cold enough and hot enough to freeze and unthaw. I kick my girl out in 10 degrees in a bra. Slim Shady. ET rap
Crazy. Yo, that was dope. That was super dope. One time for Eminem. One time for Eminem, man. And one time for all of you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for real. Yo, if you guys enjoyed that, please smash the like button. Subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I go live on YouTube every Saturday and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Saturdays, I react to music. I'll react to your music if you're a singer, rapper, producer. And Wednesdays is more like a podcast or a Q&A. If you have not already done so, go check out my music. Again, I've been on the scene for a while. Pretty big fan base. Shout out to my whole fan base. Shout out to all my supporters. Again, if you're new, be sure to subscribe, tune in, and drop me a comment. Let me know who you guys want me to react to next. I'm curious. Let me know. All right? Love. Salute.